Hello there. Welcome back to Grade 10 Economics. This video, I want to look at an April 2021 common test, and we are going to look at the essay question on that question paper. So, going to our essay, you'd see that our essay means discuss consumption and production as an economic process, and that part is 26 marks. Then on the additional part, it reads how can the market through exchange promote consumption. So this is the second part with 10 marks. So obviously, this adds up to 36 marks, of which we are going to have your introduction 2 marks and then a conclusion 2 marks. So remember, you're going to start on an introduction. So remember, the best way to come up with an introduction is to find at least one term that you can define according to your question. So you can pick that economic term that we have in the question that you can define. Remember, we have got various economic terms that we can pick there. We have got consumption, we have production. We also have an economic process. You can also define that. So you can choose any term that you can define there. So according to this video, we are going to define production, and that is going to be our introduction. So production, remember, is the process of combining various inputs, both material and immaterial, in order to create output. So that's the process of production. So ideally, this output will be a good. It will be a good. So that's what we have. So what is being produced is the good. So basically, we are saying it involves a manufacturing, and that is a production. But we've got a brief definition that we have in terms of production that we just need to go through in our introduction. It reads production is the creation of utilities to satisfy needs and wants. So that's the description that we have of production. So moving on to the main part now, which needs to discuss consumption and production as an economic process. So we are going to start with our consumption. So defining consumption again, it's an action of using up a resource. So any action that we undertake in the process of using up a resource is consumption. So from an economic point of view, it is also defined as the purchase of goods. So generally, the purchase of goods also describes consumption. So we have information that we have beneath our consumption, which reads that this is the act of using goods and services, and consumer expenditure can be classified as follows. So we are going to see that uh, in terms of consumer expenditure, we are going to have subdivisions of durable goods, consumption on durable goods, consumption on semi-durable goods, consumption on non-durable goods, and consumption on services. So we can start with our durable goods. So durable goods basically these are goods not for immediate consumption, and they are able to be kept for a period of time. So that is our durable goods. So basically we are saying it's a good that does not quickly wear out, one that yields utility over time, rather than being completely consumed in one use. And so that's what that is a durable good. So according to our information in our answer section, it reads these are goods that can be used over and over again. E.g., we have got furniture. So that's what we have in terms of durable goods. So there are goods that are going to be used for a longer period of time. So that's what we have. And then we have got semi-durable goods. So semi-durable goods are goods which can be used for a limited period of time. We can give you an example of our clothes as a semi-durable goods. So according to our information here, it is that they are used up or destroyed and are only used once. Same durable goods. We are saying goods that need to be replaced after a while, e.g., clothing. So that's the description of same durable goods. Then we move on to non-durable now. These are now the goods that are used up or destroyed and are only used once in the production process. So basically, non-durable goods we are saying is anything that loses its economic value uh, in uh, in one use. That is our non-durable goods. Moving on to our non-durable goods, we are saying these are used up or destroyed and are only used once in the production process. That is now our non-durable goods. So basically, that's what we have. So additionally, on semi-durable goods, we are saying these are goods which can be used for a limited period of time. We are giving an example of clothes, and then when we move to non-durable goods, now we are saying they are used up or destroyed, and are only used once in the production process. So we are saying non-durable goods are anything that loses its economic value in one use. That is a short period of time. So basically, that is non-durable goods. So finally, we have got services. They are those activities we need and for which we are prepared to pay. We have a good example of hairdressers, of course. Doctors also are going to offer health services. That is the description that we have in terms of our services. So moving on to the next part, where now we have got types of consumption. So if you refer back to the question, you'll see that the question is saying discuss consumption as an economic process. So we are still under consumption. So on the next part, we are looking now on the types of consumption, whereby we are saying we can have immediate consumption, whereby you see uh, it does not have additional preparation. It's consumption that you do not engage in additional preparation so that you consume a certain good. So basically, that's what we have on immediate consumption. So the description that we have here is it is when a service or a product is used up or destroyed when an individual uses it. For example, we have got eating a hot dog as immediate consumption. And then moving on, you also have deferred consumption, whereby saying when a consumer buys a product that will be used over and over again without damaging it, is deferred consumption. And we have got also examples of uh, clothes and cars that we have under deferred consumption. Then that's the information that we have on consumption. Then also we are going to look at production. Remember, our question reads, discuss also production as an economic process. So in terms of production, we're going to start by again defining what is production. But production basically is the process of combining various inputs, both material and immaterial, in order to create output. So we have just defined it, and we've defined it again in the introduction, whereby when we said is the creation of utilities to satisfy needs at once. So information that we have on production, here it is there are two kinds of production that take place in the economy. So you'll see that we can subdivide production into direct production and indirect production. So when it becomes direct production, it's going to be when someone produces things they need using their own efforts. So when you produce using your own efforts and you are producing for yourself, is direct production. So the uh, explanation that we have is that the producer and the consumer are the same. So basically, that's the same description of yourself producing for yourself. You are the producer and the consumer. So they are the same. So basically, that's what we have for direct production. Then we've got indirect production, where we're saying the producer and the consumer are different. And this type of production is seen in the industry that can be categorized as follows. So basically, indirect production now becomes the opposite, whereby we are saying this is production by specialization for exchange. So you are producing for someone, you are going to exchange after producing, and the producer is not attempting to satisfy his own wants directly. So in other words, as opposed to direct production, you are you are producing to satisfy another party. So basically, that's what we have on indirect production. But you see that you can subcategorize indirect production into primary production and uh, secondary production. So when it comes to primary production, is the extraction of raw materials from nature. We are giving an example of fishing and farming. And also, the primary sector is the smallest of the three sectors in South Africa. Something that we have to take note that the primary sector is the smallest of all the sectors in South Africa. And then, if you look at now the secondary sector, secondary production now. So, for secondary production, that's where we've got manufacturing taking place. We have got the conversion of raw materials into final products. So we are saying these are manufacturing industries which processes raw materials from the primary sector into final products. So that's what we have. E.g., I give an example of turning gold into jewelry as an example. Then we also have if we check there, we also have a tertiary production. Remember, we looked at We looked at the primary production, secondary production. Now we can look at tertiary production, whereby we're saying this sector is involved in the distribution of goods and the provision of services. For example, transport, wholesalers, retailers. So in other words, under indirect production, we have got one, primary production, and then we have secondary production. Then we have now the tertiary production is number three. So basically that's what we have. And we are saying under tertiary production, this sector is involved in the distribution of goods. So distribution of goods is under tertiary production and also provision of services. We are giving an example of transport services, wholesalers, and retailers. So methods of production now. Method of production, we've got capital intensive and labor intensive. Capital intensive, obviously, is the intensive use of machinery instead of labor. We have the use of machinery instead of labor. We're saying the higher proportion is utilization of capital equipment and machinery. And then on labor, it becomes the opposite, whereby human labor is the one which constitutes the greater proportion of production. So other capital intensive, it takes place when businesses use more machinery, equipment, and tools are more than workers. So that's what we have. And then on labor intensive, we are saying labor intensive takes place when business rely a lot on workers than machinery. So this is again the explanation that we have for labor intensive. So moving on to the last part, which is going to be our additional part. Remember, it is how can the market through exchange promote consumption. Obviously, the market is going to be the center point of promoting consumption. That's where we are going to have goods and services being bought and sold. So buyers and sellers are going to meet in the market. If you go to the factors of production, they are going to be sourced from obviously those factor markets. So basically, that's what we have. And you look at the final products are going to be sold in the market of goods and services. So that's where we have facilitation of consumption. So we go to our answer section. You'll see that now we are saying the market promote consumption by providing factors of production to the economy to which they are used for the production of goods. So if you want labor as a factor of production, you go to the labor market. That's where you're going to get labor. That's what the explanation is just trying to illustrate. They are selling manufactured goods and fresh produce to retailers. So after manufacturing, they are also going to the market. That's where they're going to be sold. So that's the promotion of consumption. They are providing services like education, medical needs, and other similar services to consumers in need. So basically, you see that the explanations have touched all the sectors, whereby we've got the primary sector, secondary sector on the second point, and the tertiary sector on the third point. And then the fourth point is trading local and foreign goods in international markets, which gives the consumers a wider choice and quality product. So obviously, we are also going to engage in international markets, whereby we are going to export and import. So all is going to happen on the international market. So that's what we have. So basically, the essence is that there is a market involved. And then selling finished goods and services and direct to the consumers. We have got examples of Pick and Pay, we've got Spar as an examples of the markets that are going to facilitate the selling of finished goods and services. So you've got also the last part now, that is the last part of our essay, that is going to be our conclusion. So according to this video, this is going to be your conclusion. So remember, our conclusion, you can come up with different forms of your conclusion. We can just try to see how you can come up with a conclusion. So these are the requirements of a conclusion. Any higher order conclusion should include a brief summary of what has been discussed without repeating facts already mentioned in the body. Very important is the first point to take note. And then we also have any opinion or value judgment on the facts discussed, or it can be additional supporting information to strengthen the discussion or analysis. Contradictory points with motivation if required, and it can be a recommendation. So you're going to see that within the context of this video, our summary is going to be centered on the brief summary of what has been discussed. So we can just try to see what we have in terms of our conclusion, whereby it reads, in a market, there must be those who are willing to provide the product at a certain price, and those are willing and be able to buy the product. Without the market, goods that have been produced will never reach the consumer. So basically, that's our conclusion as you conclude your thesis. So thank you for listening, and hopefully the video was helpful. And let's take note, more typical examination questions will be uploaded on this channel. So let's stay tuned, let's subscribe, let's share the video to all our colleagues who are doing economics at grade 10. We'll meet again in the next video.